What's up? My name is Aiden. If you don't know me personally, I am 25 years old, I'm trans, and I live in Arizona. I'm mostly just making these videos to kind of document my trans journey, whether it be voice differences and changes, face shape changes. I kind of have one going on. So this is my first video that you're gonna see. So to you, you don't know what my face normally looks like. Kind of is squaring up a little bit. It used to be a lot rounder down here. I don't know what's going on with it today. I feel like it looks rounder than it did the other day. I'm not sure. But yeah, I kind of keep track of stuff like that. I think my difficult part about making these, which I apologize in advance because it's going to still bother me even right now, is probably my voice. I've never liked my voice. Even before I knew I was trans, I had no idea, and I would still hate how high-pitched it was. I want to say about a month on testosterone, and this is what it sounds like right now. Pretty much it just kind of sounds sleepier, longer. But then again, it's like the season where I get sick, so maybe I'm sick, who knows. But the other reason I wanted to make these videos, aside from kind of documenting my journey and changes and stuff like that, would be to kind of reach other people that had the experience I had. So, even if this video reaches 5 people, hopefully it helps one of those 5 people. When I was figuring out that I was trans, a lot of the content I was seeing kind of didn't relate to me. I didn't feel like that was something that I connected to or helped me realize anything. If anything, it kind of confused me more. Most of the content I was seeing was, dysphoria as this super extreme where, people shower in the dark, they don't like how they look. Dysphoria is a bitch, I also was confused as someone who's trans, even like reflecting back, seeing that, I'm still confused because I don't personally relate. I have dysphoria, absolutely, but differently. It's not the same extreme. I don't like that word, but it's not on that same side of the spectrum. I have it differently, but that doesn't make me any less trans. Like, I definitely am trans. I definitely use he, him pronouns. Even now that sometimes at work I get called the wrong name or wrong pronoun, and I kind of like cringe. It doesn't sound right. I feel like they're talking to someone else because it's just been my reality that I'm trans for a bit now. Content I was seeing was very different than how I was feeling, and it was causing me a lot of confusion. It was making me kind of feel like an imposter, I guess is the word I would look for. I just felt like I really wasn't trans. I absolutely am. It's just so much confusion, and I feel like it made my process coming to terms with it and like really realizing that much slower. I feel like I could have figured out sooner had someone had content or videos that I had seen that were very similar to how I was feeling. So like I said, if this reaches 10 people but only helps 1, I feel like I've done something great. I hope I help you or your friend or family or anybody out there. I really genuinely hope it resonates to somebody so you don't feel so lost and confused. So a little background about me. I'll try to make it brief because it's probably boring. I'm just some random dude on the internet. Probably don't care that much, but in a nutshell, I grew up very tomboyish. So my mom, she's a badass, she raised me to kind of just do whatever I want to do. I didn't really feel the need to do something or act a certain way, dress a certain way. I would still be girly to some degree, but only to a degree. So, I have memories of, painting my nails, hanging out with my mom, wearing color pink dresses, what have you. I just kind of wore whatever. Parents buy me clothes, I'm gonna wear them. But I do also remember being a lot more comfortable in boys' clothing. I always hang out with guys. Growing up, I'm sure anyone that knows me, that grew up with me can attest to this. I used to have a lot of friends that were girls and a lot of friends that were guys. I got along with pretty much everybody. I'm still the same way today. Like, I pretty much, you could talk to me about anything and I would find some sort of common ground and be able to be your friend or talk to you at least for a little while, because that's just who I am. I'm very good at that. So growing up, I would have sleepovers with my friends that were girls. I'd go hang out with my friends that were guys, play football, all kinds of sports. Most of the time at recess, I was playing some sort of sport, whether it's baseball, football, whatever. That's pretty much what I was doing all the time. So I kind of grew up already being androgynous, but I never knew what that word is. When you're a kid, you don't think about androgyny or gender roles or any of that stuff. You just hang out with people you like, you wear what you like, you eat what you like, you do whatever you want. You're a kid. I really love that kids don't have that idea ingrained into them. So, if I were to go tell some, kid that, hey, I'm trans, I was born a female, but I identify and express my gender as a male, that's how I'm comfortable, they would just accept the information and be like, heck yeah, and probably use my correct pronouns and correct name more than an adult would, because adults have this super weird need kind of to like have gender roles and those weird societal expectations. So it's confusing for adults, but really easy for children. So I think when I was growing up that way, being raised by my awesome mom who let me do whatever I want, I never felt confused about it. I just thought it was normal. So, as you grow up, there are some kids who they either hear it or see it or what have you, and they kind of make you feel awkward for feeling that way. So a good example is, I want to say I was like in 4th or 5th grade. One of my friends, we were at recess, and someone was asking me who I liked, who I had a crush on or whatever. And I distinctly remember listing both boy names and girl names. Didn't see anything wrong with it. It was literally like casual. I just listed my names. I was like, who do you like? Just kind of carrying the conversation, because to me as a kid, nothing seemed wrong with that. I like who I like. I do whatever I want. There's nothing weird to me. But I kind of remember like the girl looking at me like, oh, it's weird. Girls on that name? Girls are on that list. That's so weird. But to me, it was just normal. So, as you're growing up, you get, more people treating you differently for being different. And then you kind of learn to suppress it in a way. So it's very possible that when I was younger, knew I was trans or expressed myself in a way that was like that, and probably was made to feel guilty about it or weird about it, what have you. And I'm sure that doesn't help either. So as I mentioned, I live in Arizona, so it's been a Republican state for like, I think 10, 20 years. I don't remember, but it's been Republican. It's very conservative, very not okay to be gay, not okay to do a lot of things. So my first journey is realizing that I was into whoever. So I'm actually pansexual. I don't really care who you are. I just like you as a person. I don't care what gender. I don't care if you're non-binary, what have you. I literally just like people for people. But when you're a kid, you don't know what that means. You kind of just exist. So as I was growing up, it felt wrong. That person made me feel wrong for doing the things I liked or liking who I liked. So I kind of just got over it and didn't think about it again until high school. And then high school, kids are a lot meaner in high school. So I was never really like picked on. I don't think of a time where I feel like I was bullied, but that doesn't mean that high school was easy for me either, especially because I tend to dress androgynously, or I guess comfortably for me, t-shirt, jeans, what have you. And I think that's kind of what the problem was, is I'm trying to figure my sexuality out, myself out, and there's people who are making you feel weird just for wanting to be comfortable and be yourself. So one instance that stands out to me was, at the time I had a girlfriend. Finally, realized, oh, I do like girls, I'm bi, pan, whatever. And so I had a girlfriend. I went to a high school that was heavily Mormon, so a lot of religious kids there. There's nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't mean that it was okay for me to be gay in front of them, if that makes sense. I have this memory where I was going to one of my classes, I forget which one. So, you know, a lot of couples, what they'll do, if you haven't been in high school in a while, is, you know, they'll kiss their boyfriend, girlfriend, go to class. Some people are actually, you know, making out, doing all kinds of things. For me, it was literally so simple and so quick. It was like a, hey, okay, bye, we're going to class. Like, it was super quick, over, done with, nothing weird. Like, it was just a quick kiss. So I started going to class, girlfriend went to class, and then we have like campus security that have like little golf cart things, and they came up and stopped me and were pretty much just telling me that people were uncomfortable that I was gay. They were going on and on about how I'm making kids uncomfortable, you know how they are, you know, they're religious, someone filed a complaint, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember a lot of it because it was uncomfortable for me. I myself am already struggling with the fact that I am, you know, bi, pan, whatever, because I hadn't really realized. But I'm struggling myself. To have someone else make me feel uncomfortable for it was kind of, you know, not helpful to me. It made me feel bad. It made me feel guilty. It made me feel confused. So who's to say that if I had gone to a high school in a different state that's not as conservative, maybe I would have realized sooner. Who knows? All I know is that it was really difficult enough doing that, and then to later on realize that you're trans and kind of be met with this gatekeeping of, oh, well, you don't have dysphoria enough, you're not trans. It's confusing for people. I'm really excited that there is more trans representation. So I graduated high school in 2013. It's 2020 right now, so 7 years ago. God dang. But with that being said, when I was younger, there wasn't a lot of trans people, you know, not that I knew of, at least. So now we're in 2020. Elliot Page has just come out as trans, which is freaking awesome. I love him. He's awesome. I've always loved him in every movie. I like had a major crush on him. So for someone as famous and as seen in the media as Elliot to be trans and have that kind of voice is so cool, especially for younger folks right now who are trans and figuring it out and feeling like, oh man, am I weird? Am I confused? Is something wrong with me? We have enough of society saying that we need more voices saying it's okay to be you, it's okay to feel how you feel, etc. So, like I'm gonna say in all my videos, there's no one way to be trans. So if you're not as dysphoric as someone else, that doesn't mean you're not trans. And I think a key part of things is seeing a therapist, especially someone who you feel comfortable with, who specializes in, you know, gender therapy and everything. For me, it was really nice. My therapist always made it a point to remind me, I'm not here to tell you you're not trans. I'm not here to like observe your transness and tell you you're trans or not. You even coming in here and telling me you're questioning your identity is dysphoria in itself. Like, you don't need to have this extreme feeling to be valid. You are seen, you are heard, you are valid. So hearing that from like a professional who's there to help you, like, it felt so great. It felt validating. It was comforting. I'm not gonna lie to you, I totally cried because like it's so weird to tell a stranger that you like are trans. I don't know. It's a really weird feeling to have to come out to people, especially like a stranger. So it was really nice to have a therapist. I highly recommend it to anybody in general, but if you're trans or even wondering if you are, go see a therapist. What's the worst that could happen? You figure out you're not. At least you have answered your question. You know, on the other side, if you are, cool, you can start going through that and working through the things you need to work through to not only accept yourself, but build like a strong foundation. So it's going to be really hard to go through like everything and not have a therapist, not have that strong foundation. I think I was really lucky and found someone who's awesome. You know, with his help, I feel like it wouldn't matter to me if I was on hormones, not on hormones. Like, I'm so comfortable in myself because of all the work we've done. that it doesn't bother me. So, I mean, obviously I'm on testosterone now, which is awesome, but that foundation has really made my self-confidence skyrocket, my self-image skyrocket. Like, even right now, how I hate my voice, I can see like every blemish and how red my skin is with this lighting, but I'm still comfortable with myself. I'm also comfortable with telling people what I'm feeling and going through and making these videos because I hope that they help somebody. So I highly recommend seeing a therapist. I feel like I've been rambling for 15 minutes. I was rambling for 15 minutes, but I just want to leave it at this and say that there's not one way to be trans, so don't feel like you need to fit in some sort of box. If you have any questions, thoughts, or anything, just leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching.